Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now,
yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
And welcome to the Historian's Almanac. I'm your host, Dr. William Lester. On this edition of the show, the Battle of San Juan Hill. The Battle of San Juan Hill was perhaps the most decisive and important battle in the Spanish-American War. It was by far the most famous and catapulted then Colonel Theodore Roosevelt and the Rough Riders into the realm of legend. After landing in late June 1898 at Daiquiri and Siboney, Major General William Shafter's United States Volunteer Corps pushed west towards the port of Santiago de Cuba. After fighting an indecisive clash at Las Guasimas on June 24th, Shafter prepared to assault the heights around the city. While 3,000 to 4,000 Cuban insurgents under General Calixto Garcia Iniguez blocked the roads to the north and prevented the city from being reinforced, the Spanish commander, General Arsenio Linares, elected to spread his 10,429-man garrison across Santiago's defenses rather than focus against the American threat. Meeting with his division commanders, Shafter instructed Brigadier General Henry W. Lawton to take his 2nd Division north to capture the Spanish strong point at El Caney. Claiming that he could take the town in 2 hours, Shafter told him to do so, then return south to join in the attack on the San Juan Heights. While Lawton was assaulting El Caney, Brigadier General Jacob Kent would advance toward the heights with the 1st Division, while Major General Joseph Wheeler's cavalry division would deploy to the right. Upon returning from El Caney, Lawton was to form on Wheeler's right, and the entire line would attack. As the operation moved forward, both Shafter and Wheeler fell ill. Unable to lead from the front, Shafter directed operation from his headquarters via his aides and telegraph. Moving forward early on July 1st, Lawton commenced his attack on El Caney around 7 a.m. To the south, Shafter's aides established a command post atop El Pozo Hill, and American artillery rolled into place. Below, the cavalry division, fighting dismounted due to lack of horses, moved forward across the Aguadores River towards their jumping off point. With Wheeler disabled, he was led by Brigadier General Samuel Sumner. Having been rallied to the field by the sound of the guns, Wheeler officially gave Kent the order to attack before returning to the cavalry and telling Sumner and his other brigadier commander, Brigadier General Leonard Wood, to advance. Moving forward, Sumner's men formed the first line, while Wood's, including Roosevelt, comprised the second. Pushing forward, the lead cavalry units reached a road halfway up Kettle Hill and paused. Pushing on, several officers, including Roosevelt, called for a charge, surged forward, and overran the positions on Kettle Hill. Consolidating their position, the cavalry provided supporting fire to the infantry, which were moving up the heights towards the blockhouse. Reaching the foot of the heights, Hawkins and Ewer's men discovered that the Spanish had erred in placing their trenches on the topographical rather than the military crest of the hill. As a result, they were unable to see or shoot at the attackers. Scrambling up the steep terrain, the infantry paused near the crest before pouring over and driving out the Spanish. Swarming around the blockhouse, American troops finally captured it after entering through the roof. Falling back, the Spanish occupied a secondary line of trenches to the rear. Arriving on the field, Pearson's men moved forward and secured a small hill on the American left flank. Atop Kettle Hill, Roosevelt attempted to lead an attack forward against San Juan, but was followed by only 5 men. Returning to his lines, he met with Sumner and was given permission to take the men forward. Storming forward, the cavalrymen, including the African-American Buffalo Soldiers of the 9th and 10th Cavalry, broke through the lines of barbed wire and cleared the heights to their front. Many sought to pursue the enemy to Santiago and had to be recalled. Commanding the extreme right of the American line, Roosevelt was soon reinforced by infantry and repulsed a half-hearted Spanish counterattack. The storming of the San Juan Heights cost the Americans 205 killed and 1,180 wounded, while the Spanish, fighting on the defensive, lost only 58 dead and 170 wounded and 39 captured. Concerned that the Spanish could shell the heights from the city, Shafter initially ordered Wheeler to fall back. Assessing the situation, Wheeler instead ordered the men to entrench and be prepared to hold the position against attack. The capture of the heights compelled the Spanish fleet in the harbor to attempt a breakout on July 3rd, which led to their defeat at the Battle of Santiago de Cuba. American and Cuban forces next began a siege of the city, which finally fell on July 17th. And that concludes another edition of the Historian's Almanac. Thank you for listening to the program. I'd like to invite you to listen to my other program, Agenda Earth, along with my co-host, Mark Zaski. Agenda Earth can be heard on the Crypto Reality YouTube channel, the Agenda Earth Facebook page, and the Crypto Reality Facebook page. The Historian's Almanac can be heard on the Blackwater Media YouTube channel and the Historian's Almanac Facebook page. I'm your host, Dr. William Lester, and remember, history comes alive on the Historian's Almanac.